Hey guys, this is Dr. Sanjay Tolani, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to overcome daily objections that you receive while you're trying to sell insurance. I've put together this special video because I realized many of you are still not familiar with the insurance handling process, especially for new advisors who have recently joined our profession. So, without further ado, let's get today's session started.
Warm welcome to our family leader, our mentor, Dr. Sanjay Tolani.
I've always believed 70% is mindset in our industry. Most people don't achieve the awards they aim for, not because they're not capable enough, but because of their limiting mindset. If you're not getting what you want in this industry, your mindset is holding you back. It's not about luck, not about circumstances, not even about network. But first and foremost, you need to have the current mindset.
Here's what we'll be learning today. Learning point 1, the universal objection circle, my process of handling objections. Learning point 2, 3 common objections you will face which happened recently. Learning point 3, the mindset when handling objections. Sounds exciting? Let's start off with learning more about my objection handling process. The next most important thing is understanding how to handle objections. Now, I've covered this over and over again, but I think you need to have this very clear in your head. Handling objections is one of the most important parts of our business, but most of us don't know the right process for handling objections. Now, I've already put this also on YouTube, but I want all those of you who have not yet learned the process to go through the process with me today, right? There are 4 steps to objection handling. I call it the UOC, the Universal Objection Circle. It starts with acknowledging the objection. When a client gives you an objection, the first step is not to challenge the client, is to acknowledge the client. Let the client give you saying, Sanjay, I need to ask my wife. Very common objection, right? Sanjay, I need to ask my wife. Mr. Client, I'm so glad that you need to ask your wife. I get that. Acknowledge it. Step number 2, you need to ask the right question, because your question should actually be related to the objection. Don't ask any random question. Ask the right question. And the right question would be, Mr. Client, do you think your wife will tell you not to protect her and not to protect the family? Because every wife that I have spoken to has always told me that they want the family to be protected. They want the kids to be protected. So do you think your wife will say no? And then give a solution and an example. Mr. Client, every time that I work with a family, I would love to be part of the conversation, right? So your wife might ask you questions that you might not know the answers to. So why don't we have a meeting between you and yourself and your wife, so that in case she has any questions, I can answer them directly, number 1. Number 2, let's make this decision together so that we know exactly where we are going. By the way, as a gesture, make it relatable to them. As a gesture of friendship, why don't I do one thing for you? My company allows us something called a free look period, right? So you're allowed to buy it, free look, no problems. You don't want it, we refund the money back. It's a free look period, so you're covered, right? And you and your wife and I, we can spend time, or you and your wife can think about when you want to do it. And if you tell me yes, we go ahead. If you tell me no, we just cancel the policy. It's as simple as that, with a 100% refund. We've got something called a free look period, because I want to make sure that you're protected while you and your wife are still thinking about it. It's free. So why don't I do that for you as a goodwill gesture? Because you're a good friend of mine. I want to make sure you're protected while you're thinking about it. So why don't we just do that? That's how you handle the objection. Start with acknowledging it. Move on to asking the right questions. Step number 3, give a solution, give an example. And number 4, make it relatable. If you follow this process, any objection, this process works with almost any objection you get. And I want you to think about this. Quick update. If you want to know how you can create your own financial concepts so that you can better help your clients understand why they need to buy insurance, click on the link below to find out more. Now, let's get back to learning. think of an objection, give me that objection, and I will use exactly the same structure. I will acknowledge it first. I will never challenge it. So when a client says, I don't believe in insurance, very common objection. Sanjay, I don't believe in insurance. Well, Mr. Client, I understand that. I understand you don't believe in insurance. But let me ask you a question. Insurance is not a religion that you have to believe in, right? Insurance is just like an airbag in your car. Would you drive a car without an airbag? Think about it. When was the last time you ever tested whether your airbag works or not? You would still want it in your car. So, Mr. Client, it's not about whether you believe it or not. It's not a religion that you have to believe in. It's a product that works just like an airbag. It's to protect your family. You don't have to believe in it. By the way, you're never going to get it. It's not for you. It's to protect your children. It's to protect your family. It's not for you. You have to die, then they get paid. So it's not for you. We have got this wrong, guys. Insurance is not for the person who buys it. Think about it. Is life insurance for you? No. Life insurance is for your beneficiaries. Let me ask you a simpler question. Do you want your children to be protected? If the answer is yes, you need to buy life insurance on yourself. We've got this wrong. Life insurance is not for the people who buy. Life insurance for the people who are going to get the money. We've got the whole thing wrong. We tell our clients, buy life insurance for yourself. Wait a second, it's not for them. It's for their family. And we've got that wrong. Think about this, guys. All these conversations that we are having today is to help you refocus your mind in the correct direction. Because we all are spending time, but we are spending our time in the wrong direction. We're focusing on investments. We're focusing on the markets. We don't know what's going to happen with the markets going forward. We don't know what's going to happen with investments going forward. We don't know that. But we know one thing for sure. People will continue to die. People will continue to fall sick. Pandemic or no pandemic. Children will still go to school. And people will still want to retire. Pandemic or no pandemic. The need for financial planning has not changed. So instead of focusing on a product, focus on the why. Why they need to do financial planning. And that's what's the most important thing going forward. I got another objection which I get. Sanjay, I would rather invest in the stock market or cryptocurrencies right now because the return is higher. Mr. Client, please go ahead and do that. It's not about the return. That's absolutely fine. But tell me something. Do you keep any money in your current account? The return on your current account is zero. Why do you still keep money there? You keep money in the saving account? You've bought a property? Why do you have all these other assets? You see, all assets have a different risk and return. Insurance is the only asset that is not related to the market. Think about it. All your assets, your bank account, your equity portfolio, your bond portfolio, commodities, everything is related to how the markets perform. Insurance is an asset that has nothing to do with the market. It is what we call an option. It's what we call a hedge. When the markets go up and down, your investments will go up and down. But insurance always continues to be on top of all of those. So if the market goes down, don't worry, insurance compensates. If market goes up, don't worry, insurance makes it higher. That's what insurance does. Insurance boosts everything that you have to do. If the market goes down, we give you a buffer. If market goes up, we give you a excess payout. Think about it. Insurance is an asset that is not related to the market. It's the best hedge to any investment portfolio. So, okay, do your investments, but make sure you have enough insurance to protect you because you know how to do the investments. This is one way of handling it. The second way of handling it is And this is how I love handling it. Mr. Client, I absolutely agree with you. So acknowledge it. I absolutely agree with you that yes, markets are doing very well, cryptos, etc. You probably can get a higher return. But let me ask you a question. Does your family know how to manage these investments? You know how to do it. I get that. But does your family know how to manage these investments? You see, every time that I work on financial planning, it's not about investments. I'm looking at, can the family continue to manage that risk? Because when you are not there, when you are sick, what do you want the family to do with these investments? Do you want them to just sell it? They might sell it at the wrong time because they don't know about it. That's what insurance does. Insurance basically buys you time. Buys time for your family to make a decision on whether they want to sell it or they don't want to sell it. Probably even learn about it. Think about that, guys. That's how I would handle that objection. Does your family know how to manage those investments? Think about it. Another very common objection that we get is, Sanjay, I will think about it and let you know. Mr. Client, I absolutely understand. I mean, this is a very important commitment and you want to think about it. I get that. But let me ask you a question. Would you like it if I gave you free insurance while you think about it? Because you see, every time that I work with a family, right? They always want to think about it. And I want to make sure that they have enough time to think about it. So I'm in no rush. I'm not here to push you anything. But I can definitely give you free insurance while you're thinking about it. And we have something called a free look period. My company allows that for 3 weeks. I could give you a free look period. 2 weeks, depending on which country you're from. Some countries offer 4 weeks. So depending which country you're from, you have a free look period on your contract. Mr. Client, I'll give you a free look period so that you've got time to think about it and tell me yes or no. Take your time. Think about it. That's all right. I'm giving you free insurance. Another very common objection that you probably get, and you will get this objection usually when you're focusing on a product. So when you're focusing on an insurance product rather than why they need to buy insurance, you will probably get this objection. I'm not ready to buy insurance. So when a client tells you I'm not ready to buy insurance, it means your why was not good enough. Your presentation was rubbish. They didn't probably understand what happened. So when someone tells you I'm not ready to buy insurance, it means your presentation was bad. You didn't get the why very clear. Mr. Client, this is how I would start. I'm like, okay, I understand you're not ready to buy insurance, but let me ask you a question. What's your income protection strategy in case tomorrow you lose your income? You see, whenever I'm working with a family, right, I'm always thinking about just like how a tree works. A tree looks very strong, but a tree is strong because the roots are strong. And the roots is the income. The tree is the asset. Everyone can see the assets. They forget about the income. Mr. Client, insurance protects the roots. You are the asset for your family. So, is there a particular reason why you feel you're not ready to buy insurance? Because you are the root of your family and I need to protect you. So I'm not sure why you're not ready. Is there something that I've missed? Ask them that question.
Now, before we end off today's session, I just want to help you gain clarity on the mindset you need to adopt with objections. Clarity number 1. If your clients have no objections, it means there's something wrong with your presentations. Go relook at it. Clarity number 2. Having objections is great. This means the client is considering your offer but needs more clarity about it. Clarity number 3. You need to practice objection handling. It's not about just copy and paste another person's script. It's a process that you need to invest time to get used to. I hope this video has provided you with better clarity on how to overcome objections as a financial advisor. As usual, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave me a comment in the comment section telling me I love this content, so my team and I can be motivated to produce more awesome content for you. Do let me know what some of your other objections you have received in the comment section so I can cover them in my future videos. Remember, to practice your objection handling process, this is Dr. Sanjay Tolani. Together, let's make financial planning easier and happier for everyone.